I want to welcome you all today, and our topic is making your life's purpose your life's work. And this is a topic that is really dear to me because during my first OnenessNLP practitioner course, for every single technique that we did in class, I focused on one thing. And that one thing was to get out of the corporate world and be able to be living my passion, doing what I wanted to be doing every single day. And when I focused on that one thing over a 5-month period, between the 4th month and the 5th month of class, I was able to, the universe just made it happen, switch over from the corporate world to living my life purpose full time. And it was absolutely terrifying and exhilarating and amazing all at the same time. In hindsight, it was absolutely perfect, but at the time, any change, any big change can be really scary. And so I really credit going through this training and focusing on it 100% for being able to clear things and make this happen for me. I've given this trick to some students that we have going through practitioner classes, and there have been 2 students out of maybe 5 or 6 classes now that have taken me up on this focus, this laser focus during their practitioner training. And both of the people who have done it have gotten exactly what they wanted and now are living more of their life purpose, receiving financial abundance, having the work situation that they really, really want by doing this, by having this focus. And so there are a lot of ways that this call can go, but Jeremiah is going to take it and direct it exactly for the people who are here on this call, but then also who will be watching it on replay on YouTube in the future. A couple of things about Zoom is that when you put your cursor over your photo, for those of you who are on video, you will be able to mute yourself and unmute yourself. You can rename yourself. There's a couple of different things that you can do up top there. But then also you'll notice along the bottom or on the side, there's a chat box. What I would like to invite you to do is, as Jeremiah is going through and explaining things for this webinar, if you have any questions, go ahead and open up that chat and just put your question in. You can put it in real time, and then we can either, what we'll do is just read them off as they come through or when it gets to be a good time to answer some questions. And also this is interactive, so you'll be able to also ask questions and follow-up questions once your initial question gets asked. So it's a really cool way to help plug into what is it that you want to be doing with your life. How can you make that happen? What are you doing now, and how would you like to tweak it to be filling more of your soul and lighting up your life more on an everyday occurrence, not just Friday, Saturday, Sunday, not just on a holiday, but where every day is just kind of like, wow, this is a really cool life. I'm really happy that I get to be doing this. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Jeremiah, and he will take it from there.
All right. Thank you, Amanda. So let's just do this to begin. Just to get everybody connected and centered, let's do kind of a guided meditation, a centering exercise. It'll just be a few minutes. And so how that would work is just basically, first, just really bring all of your set energy and all of your awareness and all of your focus to yourself. Like think of maybe like a bubble or an energy bubble around yourself that maybe extends, I don't know, 2 to 3 feet past on either side, above your head, below your feet, if you're seated, below your butt, wherever it is, in front and behind you. So the first one is to go into make your life's purpose, your life's work, is what we're going to be talking about that among many things today. The first and foremost thing is if you're not focusing on yourself or your own business, and your own business doesn't actually have to mean a business, but your business is actually what's important to you, what you're here to do. But if you're not focusing on yourself or your own business, it's not going to grow. And that's just not a big surprise. It just is what it is. So to begin, to start with, the foundation is to focus all of your energy around yourself to the best of your ability. If you want to open your eyes, you can. If you would like to close your eyes at any point, feel free to do that, whatever is most comfortable for you. So what you will do is very simply, it always starts with dropping the shoulders, but sometimes people have their shoulders in a little slightly raised position. So this is one of the easiest things to do. Just raise your shoulders for 10 seconds, as high as you can, 9 seconds, 8 seconds, and just kind of like squeeze. You're not trying to pop your head off, but just raise your shoulders. 5, 4, higher, 3, even higher, 2, 1, and all the way, drop down. And what that does is actually lowers your shoulders a little bit. They were a little bit higher just at a resting point, but we kind of stressed out those muscles. So that's the first part. And why is that so important? When your shoulders are up, your heart turns off. Not your physical heart, of course, but the center of your heart, the heart center. And the breathing changes. So go ahead and drop your shoulders. If you like to, you can close your eyes or peek open anytime you wish, or remain open or not. And I'd invite you to focus your awareness to the next level inside of your body. So first was inside of your bubble. Now it's inside of your body. And maybe the first level is inside of the room that you're in. That could be a challenge for some people. But once you get to the point where it's inside your body, so try to focus all of your energy as best your ability with inside your skin. Start to feel whatever sensations are there. Become aware if there's any tingling in your head or not. How your body's breathing. What is the quality and the rate of breath that you're taking, consciously or unconsciously? Are there a lot of thoughts going on in your mind? Is your mind active right now? If it is, what is it running away from in the center of your chest? What emotion does the mind say it's uncomfortable to feel or experience? And what is it that your unconscious mind wants you to deal with now? So for the next 90 seconds, I encourage you to try to think about considering relaxing your body, focusing inside of yourself, of your physical body, and just be with yourself. It sounds so simple, but it's not always so easy. Even the mind, if you watch it, will try to, oh yeah, I can do this. And it will say this for 1 moment, 1 second, maybe 2, 3 seconds stacked together. But even beyond that, the breath starts to change. The mind starts to think about something else to move you away from inside of yourself. And there's nothing wrong with this. It's kind of a game. It doesn't always feel like a game if there's suffering happening, but it is a game at the higher levels of it. Until one point, just like this, it becomes permanent. Where you stacked so many moments upon moments, you've invested so many breaths of conscious awareness within yourself, for maybe months at a time, still focusing inside, still focusing on your breathing. And you could, if you wanted to, visualize or imagine from my words to my hands all the way over to your room, sending a golden ball of energy that might be the size of a marble or the size of a baseball or softball or a small watermelon. It's up to you to choose, and let this come into the center of the room that you're in. Very mathematically, actually. The very center of the room, let this go to. And you could ask this golden light, this golden ball to fill up, start to expand and grow. Expand, not contract, expand. In the room that you're in, filling up the room, including yourself, with this golden light, just to visualize, to see what that feels like, how much more peaceful and calm. Even your thoughts will get centered, will get covered, will get connected. Even your brain, even your body, even anything and everyone in it. And this golden light, the center of this center, can come inside the center of you, if you like, and expand every cell of your being with this golden light. And just breathe into that for maybe 45 seconds. Just breathe into yourself, into this light, without trying to change yourself. If there's judgment inside, without trying to judge the judgment. If there's any resistance, without resisting the resistance. If there's causeless joy or peace, without trying to comment on it. If there's commenting happen, just let it happen. If there's any parts that have resistance, I don't believe this will work for me. Let the light go to that part first. If there's emotions coming up, let them happen. Just feel what it feels like for a glimpse, to whatever degree and level you're feeling it now, that you're taken care of, that you're unconditionally loved, even if you don't believe it, even if there's a part which every human being has that feels unworthy. And some human beings have it connected. Some people have it partially connected. Some people have it totally resisted. So ask your inner intelligence inside now to give you all of the questions that you want to be answered, whether it's automatically, whether it's verbally in a few moments when you unmute yourself, or you type it in the chat to get all the information that you're looking for. You're here for a reason. This is not a waste of time. This is an investment of time. And it's going to be continuously unfolding of what it is that you need to be consciously aware of now. So you can remain in this inner stillness, inner focus state for as long as you like. And when you're ready, when you choose to decide to open your eyes, feel free to do that now or in a little bit from now. So I will start by, for the next phase, giving you the big picture. We're going to be giving you some really good information about how to make your life's purpose, something that's built and born deep within every single human being that ever has, is, or will be. How to make your life's purpose your life's work, which are two different things. People can have, I have a passion over here, but then I'm working over here. This is my day job. There is a way that I've found personally, and I've built a school around helping as many people as I can find inner personal freedom, external freedom, freedom in every area of life, physically free, psychologically free, spiritually free, financially free, all integrated, not compartmentalized. And one way to say it, this school is a process of decompartmentalization. So I'll say that again. What we do, what we offer is a process of decompartmentalization. The mind likes to compartmentalize. Okay, I'm going to go to church. I'm going to go to a spiritual service. I'm going to go to yoga. So if I go to yoga, I got to wear my sweet Lululemons, which I like Lululemons. Nothing wrong with that. But I have to wear these sweet yoga pants. Nothing wrong with that. And then I have to Om, and I have to do this posture, and I have to really focus. And then, my mind's going off on somebody else's mat. Oh, get back to my own mat. Okay. So the calmness and stillness, I have that in yoga. But then I go to a corporate meeting, or I go to my cubicle, and then I'm yelling, right? Or something's different. I'm yelling inside, maybe not even outside. Or I'm reading this book, Eat, Pray, Love, or I'm reading Dalai Lama's book, or I don't know, some spiritual person's book, right? And I'm doing this for a reason to work and develop on a certain area of myself. But then I'm yelling at my kids, and oh my God, it's not adding up. So the mind likes to compartmentalize. Finances over here, health over here, problem solving over here, and then spiritual over here. Let's keep them apart, which on some level, especially for those who are empaths, makes no sense. So I just chose to decide to develop a school that, since I was a little boy, I was looking for this school for myself. I wanted to learn this school. I wanted to train at this school. And I found out, traveling around the world, studying for years with many mentors and masters, that the school didn't exist, that I was here to actually create the school. So I'm a person that I don't like to talk big very much, even though I dream big, but then I actually take big action and massive steps towards that as well. But I don't like to talk big, so I always say, what am I going to do about it? And this might be something you might ask yourself. if you think about a problem in your life or a problem in the world, and if it's a problem for you, someone like myself would say, well, what are you going to do about it? And it's not to be offend, it's not to challenge. I mean, it's a challenge you to grow, but I always had that question in my life. So what are you going to do about it? But what are you going to do about it is extremely important. And for me, I'm going to do everything in my ability to do what I'm here to do and help other people do what they're here to do. So if you have any questions that you want answered, please go ahead and write it in the chat. And maybe at the end of this call, for the last maybe 5-10 minutes, we can open it up for questions and all that too. So, but I'm just going to get into what I do. So why you're here. You're here for a particular reason, that something you want to learn. You want to learn something that's going to help you get more results in your life. I'm not trying to speak super vague, but I'm going to go big picture to detail. But that's one thing. There's something that intrigues you about this call. For whatever reason, and this isn't a bad thing, I'm talking from your heart, not from your head. You're not fully satisfied with where you're at life financially, with your health, with your relationships, with your spiritual growth or connection, with your really satisfaction and fulfillment. And I'm speaking from the heart, not from the head. And there's nothing wrong with that, because there's an inner drive within all of us that helps us get to the next level. If you really look back of humanity, if people don't believe in evolution, I'm not talking the difference, the big debate between science and religion, all that, because that's a compartmentalization. At a certain point, they're going to see that the two sides of the same coin. That's just my truth. But I'm not talking about that kind of evolution. I'm talking about, like, let's take like micro evolution, not macro evolution, not where do we come from? Because the simple answer is we came from the source of everything. That's just an easy answer. But the mind can't fully comprehend that. So evolution for the last, I mean, if people doesn't believe in evolution, then how do you explain millennials? And then, I don't know, Generation X, right? People who went to school before the internet. You know, when I was in high school, there wasn't any internet. Now there's internet in every turn of in your pocket. There's internet in TV in malls and everywhere you go, Wi-Fi, all that stuff. So humanity's been really accelerating, you know, since the 2000s for sure, but a lot of times things have been ramping up in the 1900s. And there's been a economical, there's been a technical, like for technology evolution, but there cannot be an external evolution without an internal evolution. Internal evolution actually has to come first before external evolution. And that's what's happening. More and more people are just waking up just like that to, you know what? I was just kind of doing what I was thinking I should do for this time. And now it's actually time for me to do what I really want to do. So in London in November, for 16 days, we have a program that is going to help rapidly accelerate, guarantee. There's just no ifs, ands, and buts about it. It's just what happens for 100% of the students that go through our training. That get rapidly accelerated of a couple different things. Like, number one is it gets clarity of people's life's purpose a lot more. This call should help, but I will let you know, the mind or the ego might want to say, well, tell me what it is now. Give me 1 second so I can do it. And I know you know in your heart that's not how it works. It doesn't work where you get it and then you just do it, boom, and you poof in a light and you're not here anymore. We came here to Earth to learn, to grow, and experience. So it's not about rushing to the end line. It's actually really about, and it sounds, you hear this before, I've heard this before when I was growing up, it's about really enjoying the journey, enjoying the process. I heard it from older, wiser, more experienced people, but then I went through my own experience, which is what younger people have to do in some way, shape, or form, and then realized, you know what, there was some wisdom in that, and I see why you say that now. You're right, I'm gonna enjoy the experience. I'm not gonna try to rush, because my health might get depleted, or I might miss something, or I might, you know, rush to the finish line. And why did I do it? Why was I in such a hurry? So the life's purpose that you have is built deep within you. So every human being comes to Earth with a specific mission. This isn't my belief, this is 100% my truth. And this is what I do day in and day out. I'm not just saying really nice things. That's why when you guys get really good questions, I can give you specific information. But every human being, whether they believe it or not, or know it or not, has a specific purpose. And I will go big picture first. How do you know if you're on your path, right? Every single human being has an IGS, an internal guidance system. For your phones, this is a smartphone, this is an iPhone, this thing called Google Maps, right? Or there's also, there's Apple Maps. This is a GPS, right? global positioning systems. This is a GPS that helps you get from the physical world here to where you want to be. It's very linear, this way, this way. It's awesome. I'm glad we have that. Didn't have when I was growing up. I had these things called Hudson books in Minnesota. They're called Hudson books. And I used to be an EMT and work for an ambulance rig. And we used to like actually have these books every year. In December, we get these books. We write down where all of the hospitals are and how we get there from where we're at. And then that was our GPS. There was nothing computerized back in early 2000s that I had available to, access to. So we all have a IGS, like a GPS externally. An IGS is an internal guidance system. And what is the IGS? The IGS is, it's really simple. The best way to explain it is your emotions. Your emotions help us feel what feels right and doesn't feel right. And I'm not talking about right or wrong. I'm talking about feels right. The best way to explain instead of right or wrong is it feels helpful or not helpful, useful or not useful. I should do this or I should not do this. It does get tricky in the psychological world, which I'll explain in a second. But generally speaking, the emotions are very accurate, very correct. There is something in the psychological world called, and in the NLP world, it's called synesthesia. Synesthesia is where you have some sort of experience. Your unconscious mind's always recording. You had some sort of experience in the past, and your mind's recording. It puts its own meaning to it. It's either has a picture or a video. And with a picture or video, boom, all of a sudden emotion gets stamped with it. And every time you think about it, something gets triggered, something gets reacted, and it goes back to that particular synesthesia. Synesthesia is a picture and the marrying of or attachment of a picture and a particular emotion or image. And it's automatic. Every time that comes up, it's a deal package. Well, someone like myself or a OnenessNLP practitioner can come in and actually find out what this is. You have to actually be aware of it first. If you start changing things about it, if I start to change the relationship in the dance, it takes two to tango, right? If I start changing this, I can't really, if this goes like this and just falls through, it can't hold anymore, then they're separate, which means there's no more emotion attached to it. So you can break up these mental synesthesias. So sometimes like in a phobia case or sometimes in an allergy case, there can be an inappropriate, and I'll define that in a second, inappropriate response, meaning maybe when you were 6 years old, you heard a car accident. You not necessarily in one, but you heard one and somebody got really hurt and you saw something you didn't want to see. You can't go back in time, necessarily time travel. I mean, that's a different training, different course, different than this, but physically not time travel, but psychologically you can. In terms of your mind recorded that accident in the past, whatever that accident or traumatic experience it is for you. And the only reason you can still access those feelings is because the picture of the movie that you have in your head. Once you change the structure of the picture of the movie or it all together, miraculously, mysteriously, instantaneously, the problem's gone. So in a situation like a phobia, phobias happen usually at a younger period of time when you're usually before 14. And it's an automatic firing of the nervous system. It's traumatic. Traumatic really meaning something happened where when I was at that age, I didn't have the ability to fully experience it, biologically with my nervous system. I didn't know how to fully accept it. I didn't know how to fully process that mentally or verbally or whatever. And the people around me didn't either. Otherwise, they would have helped me process it. So because that happens, there becomes a psychological separation. You continue to grow. Just because your body's at whatever age or level it's at doesn't mean all of you is at that part. And if you don't believe me, go to your family and see if you regress. Go to your high school reunion and see if you regress. Go to do something, go to be like a child and see if you regress. There's nothing wrong with regression as long as it's valuable to you. So, but other than that, the emotions that we feel are IGS. Tells us that this food doesn't feel really good to me, even though for whatever reason I haven't eaten it yet, but I just have this gut feeling. I have this bad vibe. I have this good vibe. So our internal guidance system has always been teaching us. But if you ask me, I have not yet found, besides what I'm teaching, a school that actually teaches technically using spiritual and psychological technology, actually physical and financial too. We use the 4 different pyramids, the 4 different worlds, the technology of all 4 integrated. There's no compartmentalization in our training, in our school. So you are always guided and you are always taught your whole life the path that you're supposed to be on. But we're not always trained as human beings from our teachers, from school, of how to listen to that, how to listen to ourselves. Think about when you go to school. When I went to school, you go to it's really more about you when you're at home. But then when your kids, when you're a kid, you go to school, you have to follow in this structure, in this system and order. You have to go at different times. You have to ask when you have to go to the bathroom. At a certain age before school, you can just go to the bathroom whenever you want. Look, I just went to the bathroom, and then somebody would change it for you. And then you get to be a big boy or big girl and go to the bathroom by yourself. But then now you start to get, conditioned of when to go, and have to get assistance and all this stuff, and there's structure, and you can't play with this toy all the time. So you start to get a little bit less independent, or a little bit less reliant on your internal guidance and wisdom. And that's how it happens for the majority of people that especially go to traditional school. So what that causes systematically within your life is start to not listen to yourself as much. There's different authorities. Your parents, you need some sort of stability, but not necessarily authority. So you have your parents, you have school, there could be religion, there could be your country, there could be all of these things. There's people around the world that are on this call that are experiencing this. So someone like myself in this training, what we give the ability to do is really to look in your life. I can start with you currently in life right now. Think about it right this second now. What are you not getting results in? Where are you not getting results in your life? Don't try to judge it. Don't try to change it. Just yes or no. Are you as fulfilled? Are you as successful as you can be? Of course, the answer going to be for most people, no. The only time you know the answer is yes is like your bank account's higher than you ever experienced, your health is off, through the charts, your relationships are great, you're contributing. It's like, how can I contribute more? You see this very commonly in people who are high level of wealth consciousness, not necessarily really rich, because just because you're rich doesn't mean you're high level of wealth consciousness. If you're high level of wealth consciousness, you can't take away that. If you're high level rich, the money can go down. So they're two different things. But people that are really high level of wealth consciousness they can't not contribute. I have to give all my money away, not all my money away. I have to give my fortune away. I have to donate it. I have to further help people in the way that I feel most called to, according to my internal guidance system. So built within you is an internal guidance system that's been guiding you this whole way. And within that, at a certain level of depth within yourself, is your life's purpose. No human being in the history of ever can discover, become aware of, or know their life's purpose if they go up in their head. I've never met one. I've never heard of one. I've never felt one. I'm scanning the planet energetically now. I can't feel one right now. It's not even possible. We're not built and born to do it this way. It's within our bodies. It's within our heart centers. So there's a lot of technical with things with that too, but you have to go deeper within yourself to, number one, find your life's purpose, discover it. When I say find and discover it, it's already built within you. The problem that a lot of adults or CEOs or people that want to get their life's purpose, they want to I want to discover, I want to create my life's purpose. And that's not about right or wrong, but that's the wrong way to go, because I want to create it, then presupposing and assuming that you don't already have it within you. But people don't know. They're like, I want a purpose. You already have a purpose, but people don't know how to access it. Just like there's some sort of gold or some sort of crystals in the ground, they don't know how to get to them. So you have to go actually deeper within yourself to, number one, discover what it is. It's already there. You have to discover or uncover it. The second one is you have to go deeper within yourself and wider with yourself. I'm going to explain this technically. You have to go deeper within yourself beyond the discovery to develop it. Just because a person knows their life's purpose doesn't mean they're going to fulfill it. That's the third step. But the first step is discovery. I've never met anyone fulfill their life's purpose who doesn't know what it is. They're just like, I'm just doing this and doing this. I went to school. This is kind of what they guided and told me to do. And here's what I'm doing, but I'm not super happy about it. So discovery is number one. Number two is development. You have to develop it. And guess what? You do not have all the tools and skills and resources, no matter what spiritual concept you were told. I will debunk it right now. Whatever spiritual concept, you have all the tools and resources within you. Yes, I would 100% say yes, 100% say no. Here's what I'll 100% say yes. 100% will say yes is if you identify, if you really experience yourself as all that is, that you are living as yourself within yourself, you're living as yourself within yourself, then yes, all the answers are within you because you are everything. 100% true. But if you identify or if you experience yourself as some sort of separation, the answers are all within me. But what's that person? What's this person? I feel so lonely, disconnected, left out. Then the 100% false, 100% not true. Because if you feel any sense of separation, then the answers aren't all within you. And how can I prove that in a different way? If you feel a sense of separation or loneliness or disconnection financially, physically, with your life's purpose, being a parent, being on earth, being an empath, all that stuff, then that part, if you really turn and look inside now, you'll see that it's disconnected. Anywhere there's loneliness, with 100% total certainty, there's disconnection. Unless you connect the loneliness, which you'll never feel alone. So I'll say that again. Wherever there's loneliness, wherever there's independence, wherever there's disconnection, it's disconnected and lonely and independent from your higher consciousness, from the rest of humanity, from the universe, from all the resources you have. So there's nothing wrong with it. It just equals 100% of the time suffering and spinning the wheels, maybe even going backwards, dis-ease, poverty, all these different things. So if you are somebody, and I've done this before many times, that you don't fundamentally know, you don't have the answers, guess what? Here's the two biggest resources on the internet, Google, YouTube. So the answer within you might say Google it, but understand that on a higher level, this is all for you. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. So if you don't know, that doesn't mean you should give up with your life. If you don't know, then you find a way. And the most intelligent way is to find a way from somebody who you know or you believe already found it. They're modeling it, they're showing it. Man, I want what you have. Can you please show me how I can get that too? Not take it away from you so I have it and you don't have it, but we can both have it because it's limitless. So you have to develop your life's purpose or the tools and skills you need to be able to fulfill it. And the third one is fulfillment, is contribution. There's nobody in the history of ever that I've ever found, I'm open to it, but nobody in the history of ever has ever discovered their life's purpose, developed it, but not shared it with people. Your life's purpose is contingent, is reliant on other people. I will explain with 100% total certainty. I will share with you right now my life's purpose. And I found this at a very young age, but I've been developing it since 5 years old and professionally since 19 years old. And I'm 38 now, so more than half of my life. So my life's purpose is to help as many people, as many light beings, as many spiritual butterflies, as many financial wizards as I can, as many change makers as I can, people like yourself who are ready to step up as a leader in their life, to help you, as many people as I can, you and just like you, number one, discover what their life's purpose is. 2, develop all the tools and skills and resources they need to fulfill it. And 3, support them with the fulfillment of their life's purpose. I cannot fulfill my life's purpose without helping people fulfill theirs. This is me. This might not be you. It's just me. Some other person could be a life's purpose to be the best mother on the planet. It could be, and I'm not limited to one thing, because part of my life's purpose is to experience. Part of it is to have fun and be silly. Part of it is just not take it so easy. Part of it is to get off my butt and be more serious at times. So all those things have been true. But what your life's purpose is what drives you the most, what you're most passionate about. If I were to write each and every one of you right now and open up a cosmic universal checkbook, and I'm writing this checkbook and I have your name on it and it's today's date and you have to cash it today. But you have to cash it with the contingency on you have to decide one thing. You can say decide, but realize or tell me one thing. I'll only give you this check, which I'm writing for $10 billion. 10 billion with the B dollars. 10, comma 000, comma 000, comma 000. $10 billion with your name on it. And you can touch it, you can look at it, but I'm not going to let it go unless you tell me, once I give this to you, and you take it, and you just say, holy crap, look at this. This is the most amazing thing. You take your picture with it, put it on your profile or not. Don't share it with people. Maybe the world, just people you want to, but take a picture of it. Maybe give it a kiss. And just what it represents is, let's say it comes directly from the divine source, let's just say. And you're going to put it in your bank account and you don't have to work anymore, right? You don't have to work. You have time and money freedom. You have total freedom. Now, the first thing you're going to do, now I'm not letting it go yet. So my hands are still like this, but what first thing you will do is, you might hire somebody for money management, but the first thing let's just say you do is you pay all your bills and your debt, whatever debt you have, your cars, your everything, boom, you have no debt anymore, done. Everything is paid off, okay? 10 billion, that didn't even do anything to that. Just like now it's just 9.99999. It's really high still. So you pay off all your debt. Okay, you're good. Really, you can do anything you want. You don't have to wake up tomorrow at any particular time and do anything you want. Before I let go, you have to tell me, what are you going to do for the rest of your time? You don't know how much time you have left on earth. You could, 5 people, we all could die. Some sort of Armageddon could happen. I'm just making goofy scenarios right now during this Zoom call. And so be it. Then it's our time. Or some sort of medical technology could happen where we can have these nanotech nights. They extract blood from us. They put these nanites in our body, and then we actually can, the average life expectancy go up to 150, 175 years. And this could start to happen around 2025. So we don't know. We could die in a second. We could die 100 some years from now. It's possible, out of infinite possibility. But what are you going to do with the rest of this time? Before I let go, what are you going to do with the rest of your time? It's not just going to be sitting around eating Cheetos by the pool. You didn't come here for eating Cheetos by the pool exclusively. Nobody did on this call. You came here to do something special. You came here to help yourself and help other people in your specific way that you cannot do alone by yourself. Nobody in the history of ever can ever fulfill their life's purpose by themselves. It takes more than everything you've got to fulfill your life's purpose. So before I let go, what are you going to do with it? I want 3 people to share with me, what are you going to do with it before I let go? You have to unmute yourself to share. Otherwise, I'm going to take it back. It's going back in my pocket.
I'll talk.
I'm going to help people.
All right, good. Jean, you go first.
I am going to use my time to help humanity heal from any areas that they need in their life so that they can elevate and find their purpose and their direction.
Okay, and that's what? And that's a really nice thing. And I'm going to help you out just a little bit further because this is next level deeper.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to help humanity, but you're not going to help every single human being because it's not possible for one person. The most popular person on the planet has not met everybody. So that's great. But so how are you going to do that? So that's what you're going to do. How are you going to do that?
I'm going to do that on an individual level in a counseling type of atmosphere. So more of a one-on-one.
Perfect. Awesome. Great. And if you have that kind of money, you're going to probably be able to hire somebody that's going to want to hang out with you. So maybe like, hey, just take these words down. They might be able to write a book and help even more people. You can multiply your light.
Yeah. And I do envision myself at one point doing stage work, like some sort of seminar or type of event. So yes.
Awesome. Great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next one, Jenny, I think you.
Yes, I said help people.
Okay. So you're going to work at McDonald's.
No.
That's helping people. That's helping people.
That's true. True. No, help people to heal themselves, to do what I'm doing now with you guys at Intra Awareness, and becoming aware and connected and finding their life's purpose.
Okay. I'm going to go one level deeper. How are you going to do that?
Okay.
Jeremiah, this is Shona.
1 second, Shosho. So, Jenny, how are you going to do that? That's what?
By helping you guys build your school.
Very good.
Yeah.
That works, and that will count really good because I'm 100% in, and anybody that helps me is going to help accelerate it. It's just like another wheel on the bus, and then it'll turn into different things. So, awesome. Very good. Thank you. Shosho.
Thank you.
I think without a doubt, I would first use the money and invest in myself in order to connect with the parts that are missing in my life that I need to, just really lean more towards life mastery. Not that I need to have perfection before I start to integrate and heal others, but I've got a lot of work that I need to be done on myself. So I personally, if I had that resource, I would invest it in myself first.
Excellent. Very good. Because the more you're connected, the more you, have, the more you have to give. period.
Yeah. And I know now, just with the work that I'm doing and getting deeper, I know now, where, the areas that I need to become a little bit more elevated in, and in order to really be able to heal others, I've got work to do, and I've got tools I need to learn, and I've got, and I know now to be resourceful. And it's challenging when you don't have the financial resources. So what I would probably do is invest in myself first.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
There are a couple of people who wrote in on chat. We have Alan, who I believe that's how I say the name correctly, says, I want to help as many people just like you. And Kelly typed in, I would help people find out how to love themselves. Alan also then just added in, first I need to learn as much as possible. So I feel like that kind of goes hand in hand, kind of what Shona was also sharing, to invest and continue to go inward, to be able to learn first and then be able to spread it out to others.
Jeremiah?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to add one thing that I feel is very important to me, and that is being able to, with that money, assisting others to grow and get the education, such as your school, to elevate and kind of pass along these learnings. So maybe taking somebody and providing them the financial means to go through, to a certain point, so that they can share and continue to kind of, it's almost like a spider web, like getting it all out there.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you very much. So imagine if, whether you have your hands out or not, but I would put my hands out, just imagine that I have this check and I'm going to send it to you directly with your name on it. So I'm going to extend my hand to you with your hands out, and I'm going to put it into your guys' hands. Boom, it's in your hands now. I let go. So go ahead and just imagine that this $10 billion check, which represents time and money freedom, a limitless source of money, because if you had that in your account, even way less than that, you would get so much interest that would keep coming in. You cannot have a ridiculous amount of money in your bank account and not have it grow. It's just how it works. So imagine now you take it inside your heart and you put it in your bank account. By the way, it's written directly from your higher self, your higher consciousness. And it automatically can start working out all the kinks. I don't feel worthy. Cool. So then maybe you have a coach, or you have some sort of invisible guide that comes and helps you with that. I don't know if I can manage all of it. Cool. You can have somebody better than you. You can hire somebody that's a money manager. I don't know. It feels overwhelming. Cool. You don't need to do all of it by yourself. And by the way, you can't. You're not built and born and designed to. So go ahead and imagine that you've received it. It's in your bank account, and you have, and you are, and you're living the way that you would like to live with when you have this. Now you are in 2018 on this particular day and this particular time. You have to do now what you did to get there. Do you understand what I'm saying? The $10 billion, it might be, this is where the logical mind comes in. You might not ever get $10 billion physically here, but the $10 billion energetically for you represents a limitless source of money, time and money freedom. That could be for some people $100,000. Some people, if they had 100,000, like that's the equivalent. Some people don't really know how much money is unless you actually experience it, or actually feel it, or actually you do the numbers and math and like, yeah, I guess $100,000 would be, that'd be the equivalent of someone's 10 billion. For some people, it might be 500,000, might be $1 million, it might be 10 million. So the 10 billion is just a big, huge number that if anybody had, nobody would be upset really about. They would be like, whoa. And now imagine, visualize you're going to do what you did to get there. So now in your life now, do what you did to get there. this is what I've done. This is what we do in our school. This is how I found, this is a little bit of how I found my life's purpose. We actually have a whole program for it, but I started to go into the future, visualize I had everything. I achieved everything. Failure's not an option. Everything is possible. What would I do? What I do? And it's not just a one thing. It's not like a one thing. I invested years. When I'd say I've invested over 150,000 hours of my life so far right now of personal growth and development, there's no exaggeration. I bet my life on it, and my life is extremely valuable. So literally over 150,000 hours of personal growth development includes nutrition, cleanses, training, meditations, all that stuff. And it's the numbers are going up, the more wiser I'm getting because I'm doing it more hours in a day. Now you're going to do what you did to get there. So what did you do to get there? Did you get healthier all of a sudden? Did you start to read different books where you get invested? But you guys said what you would do with yourself. So you said you would invest in yourself. For those who invest in yourself, keep doing that and do it. Invest in yourself could be a massage, could be a book, could be one of our trainings, could be this London training coming up. For sure is this time right now, because my intention isn't to waste anyone's time. It's to have an investment and unfold and have you guys get motivated, get you fired up, get you a little bit more excited, not in a peak performance state all the time, but literally excited and growing that you're investing this fire that you're building within yourself to fuel what you're here to do. So part of the self-discovery is, let us just say you discovered, I want to help people this particular way. Okay, cool. You guys have to understand it's 2018. It's going to not cost money. It's going to require money. You need money for it. Let us just say you're not, and I'm not judging, just hear what I'm saying. Let us just say you're not the best person with money. Let's say you didn't come here with that. You can actually hire somebody that is better than you, that making money, managing money. That's the only way. That's the problem a lot of employees have, is they think they don't know what it takes with their mental operating system or their neurology, their biology, what it takes to actually run a business. So a lot of people say they want to run a business, but then they have to do marketing. They're like, I don't really like marketing, or I love marketing, but then I have to go for office rounds. I don't like to do that. They have to do taxes. I don't know if I want to do that. They have to do outreach. They have to do hiring. They have to do firing. They have to have I don't want to say concept, but they have to have a purpose of the business. They have to value systems. Things are going to go off. It's a living, breathing thing, just like a body, just like a house, just like a relationship, just like a family, just like any other system. So I can go on and on. There's different key components you need to running a company. And in life, you have to really step it up and say, who do I need to become to get to where I need to be? If you want to get to the next level, you have to ask yourself, who do I need to become? Divinely guided, of course, because anytime this starts to dominate, this isn't meant to fulfill your life's purpose. This isn't meant to find your life's purpose. You actually can't find it with this. It's in here. So it's an experiential. You have to go deeper, literally deeper within yourself. Literally, I'm telling you the location. When people go higher up, they get far away. This is never meant to lead the show. What the mind is meant to do is inside, when you emotionally and when you experientially discover your life's purpose by doing this inner work, then you use the mind to make it happen in the physical world. The mind is in between the spiritual and the physical world. The mind can be closed and nothing's going in, or the mind can be open and things will go from the spiritual to the physical. But that's the mind is the gatekeeper between the spiritual and the physical world. So your mind needs to understand what it takes if you're going to fulfill your life's purpose. Like when I think Shosho said, oh, money's been a challenge. Okay, well then rise to the challenge of find out what it is. Turn and look in towards yourself. Whatever you're challenged with, it's hard with having 6 kids. Okay, it's hard with being a parent. Okay, it's hard with this disease. Okay, it doesn't matter. Whatever the thing is, whatever the challenge is nothing more than a problem, which is a bunch of ingredients that needs to be solved and mixed and cemented, which becomes a step for you to step up into the next level. And in order for you to grow and get to the next level, you need more problems. You need more challenges, 100%. To the degree if somebody wants to become a millionaire, you have to break through 1 million challenges to get there. If you want to become 10 millionaire, same difference, 10 million. A billionaire, it's a different category for each level. But sometimes the mind jumps in and says, oh, I can just do this. I can do this. Can you? You can do anything you want, but do you want to do it? And are you willing to do what it takes to get there? And what happens when your best isn't good enough? Now, I said this one time before. Most people understand what I'm saying when I say this, but I ask this question for myself so much growing is, what happens when your best isn't good enough? Meaning, what happens if you did everything you got? Because what I was sharing with you is to fulfill your life's purpose is going to take more than everything you've got. Well, how can you do more than everything you got? Other people, outside resources, inside resources, but all your internal resources. You need outside resources. You need people to fulfill your life's purpose. You need people to receive your life's purpose. All of your life's purpose is always built and dependent on serving other people in some way, shape, or form. Not because you should, because you're built that way, because human beings are built that way. So I'm going to open it up because there's a lot more that wants to come through, but let me see, we have about 9 minutes. What specific questions do you have, personal or specific or on any level that what we talked about today, that can really help you? What obstacle or block, what challenge, what do you need to hear? What do you need to learn more? What do you need more coaching on? What do you need more clarity on now?
You said about people, and that brought up something for me.
I said, what about people?
About how when our best isn't good enough, that, we need other people. And I believe that, and I feel that, but I feel like I don't trust that. I don't trust people.
This part of you doesn't trust people. Yes, because other parts of you does trust people. And I'm going to share this for everybody. I'm going to use you specifically or use your example, and then I'm going to generalize it in a way where at 100% of the time when I'm working with people, such as yourselves, and somebody says, I don't trust people. I'm like, oh, really? And I've never trusted people. And then sometimes, how long have you felt that way? Well, always, or I've never trusted people. Oh, okay, cool. Well, how did you get to where you're at? Did you have to drive somewhere? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you trust the drivers weren't going to run into you? Well, that doesn't count. So it's never true where somebody says, I've always never trusted people, something like that. But this is a part of you. It's not all of you. And it's a younger part than the part that's right now. By the way, this is the NLP that you are going to be learning during the training, the OnenessNLP. So this part says, I don't trust people. Okay. How long? I'm just curious. How long has this part felt this way? How many years?
8.
Since 8 years, or since you were 8 years old?
Since I was 8 years old.
Okay, since you're 8 years old. And what had to happen, and you can just say it in a few words, what had to happen in order for this 8-year-old to choose to decide that?
People left me alone.
Okay, when you were 8. So this is what just gets kind of interesting in my world. So there's an 8-year-old you, psychologically and emotionally, because they're connected. You get in a picture in your mind, you can see a time period where you were left alone, right?
Yes.
Okay, so every time something in the future or the present triggers this past thing, the emotions are still there. So we can just really do this. I know I'm getting to know you a lot better. And I know I've never seen you smack a child. I've never seen you talk bad about children. I never see you do an anti-children rally or a protest. I know you love kids. So I know that if this 8-year-old was if something magical happened where we sent some sort of magical golden ball all the way back to time to allow the 8-year-old to come in to say, you're going to get all of your needs met. All you got to do is just step inside. And then now the 8-year-old goes inside and this golden ball goes all the way back to the room that you're in now, automatically being in your wiser presence because you're more evolved, because you've been through more experiences, can start to download, start to transfer all the lessons and tools, resources, and divine guidance you have now to that younger part and say, guess what, sweetheart, you can have it all now. And you have to let go of that sadness, and you have to let go of that loneliness back in the past that just doesn't serve you. Because if you can be with me right now, and you can if you wanted to, as you let go and cut the cord of everything that just was no longer true anymore, you can come inside of my heart with that golden ball, and you can slowly or quickly grow up from 8 all the way to the age that I am now. I get to get you back. You get to get everything you've wanted, and we can come together as one now, moving forward. Divinely guided, of course.
Thank you.
Yes?
Yes.
So I know that you and I just did a great job together, but let's just share a little bit. How do you feel about not trusting people? Where's that part now?
She's just fully in me, all connected with me. Yeah, so she's not alone because she's with me.
Yeah.
And funny because as soon as we were wrapping this up, I could smell the flowers in the room, which I haven't smelled the whole time. And last time I was with Amanda, we did a process where, for confirmation of me receiving love and whatnot, was flowers. So,
Nice.
right. Yeah.
Very good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
there's a few questions on the side.
Yeah, I'll read it, both of them to you, and then you can address them individually or together. So Alan typed in, is there a technique to go inside and find out my purpose? If I'm not sure, I'm not sure my goal is right, I cannot put everything into it. So that's one. And then Kelly also typed in, how do I uncover my life's purpose and trust that it is right? So kind of a similar theme of wanting to know.
So is there a technique to go inside and find out my life's purpose? I would say no. And here's why I'm saying that. It's not one technique. And I said it a little bit in a different way. It's not one technique because it's not cheap. It's just like, to the same energetic equivalent, is there one technique to go inside and find out my life's purpose is the same as if I was going to start to date somebody. I'm happily married. It's awesome. My wife's right there. But if I'm going to start to date somebody, right, if I'm just before when I was a young kid, and I'm going to say, like, is there one thing I can say to make you marry me? And then, but I can say, well, I won't say anything else. I won't talk the rest of the time, or I can say random things. Well, no, you have to, like, say I'm pretty, but you also have to, like, be there for me. You have to do all these things. So it's the same thing. Your life's purpose isn't like a cheap, I don't know about other countries, but when I grew up, there's something that was called a Cracker Jack box. And a Cracker Jack was like caramel popcorn or something like that. I think it was like caramel popcorn in this like cardboard box. And for as a kid, it was really cool. I think it was red, white, and blue colors, and you can open it up. And there's a prize at the bottom. It was like a cheap toy, but it was like a scratch and sniff sticker, or like a plastic toy. It was so cool as a really kid, but it was cheap. So it's not a cheap thing. Your life's purpose isn't a cheap thing, and you can't do one technique to find it. What we do and what we train is we do processes, and we talk about, once you discover your life's purpose, you have to make it your life's work. So part of that has to be with, you're not sure if it's right. The goal is right, so you can't put everything into it. Don't put everything into it yet. Explore. You have to explore. You have to do trial and error. So if it's not right, and this is how you know, Alan, is let's say that I think my life's purpose is being, and I'm just making up something, is being an artist. So you move towards art. Nah, I don't really like that. You're going to get that feeling that's not it. Or it could be like, okay, it's being an artist, but you know what? The mind comes in, or somebody else's voice. Oh, you can't make a lot of money in that, but I love doing it. Well, you can. There's a lot of artists that actually make a lot of money. You just have to learn how to make. Just because you're good at art doesn't mean you're good at money. Just because you're good at money doesn't mean you're good at art. Just because you're good at this doesn't mean you're good at this. If you're good at this, you can be good at this too. You just have to learn how. So part of it's trial and error, and don't put everything into it unless you know a total certainty, unless nobody can shake you. Because to the degree that you do not know your life's purpose, you will not fulfill it. To the degree, let's say you know your life's purpose, but somebody's like, oh, somebody comes at you, you're never going to fulfill that. Oh, and then you get sad and you give up. You didn't want it bad enough because you didn't go deep enough for yourself. That's all that is. It's not nothing bad, but it's how it is. So Kelly is, so I would just say there's not one technique, and I'll keep going. How can I uncover my life's purpose and trust that it's right? Similar to everything, here you are, and here's your fulfillment of your life's purpose. You guys really have to realize this. We'll go a few minutes over, but it's worth it. Here's where you're at right now. Here's where the fulfillment, discover your life's purpose. Literally every emotion, every action, everything that's between here and here, everything that's between here and here needs to come up to be connected, healed, upgraded, learned, or removed. So you said, how do I discover my life's purpose? The simple answer is to continually go deep in within yourself, but then you're gonna be like, well, how do I do that? And that's why we have more time, more training together. And then trust that it's right. Well, I can already tell within your sentence and reading your energy that there's a part of you that doesn't have trust, that fundamentally lacks trust, which is one of the things that human beings have is, well, how can I trust myself that it's right? How can I trust this? Which is really telling me that that part's disconnected from your higher consciousness and your unconscious mind. Nothing wrong with it. That's literally what we do in the training. We first systematically teach you about what your unconscious mind is, your higher conscious and your conscious mind, your conscious, unconscious, higher consciousness. And we talk a little bit about the subconscious mind. There's 4 different things going on there. And we technically break them all down. And we teach you about how to, we don't compartmentalize, but we individualize them as parts. Sorry, I have a friend that really wants to say hi because he's taking my headphones. This is Samson. Hi, Samson. All right. So we specialize in developing these 4 parts, and then we put them all back together. So basically, what it is we teach the tool systematically in order to fulfill your life's purpose. We do like a lot of the setup and the preparation and the tools. Some of the tools you're going to need, not all the tools. We're not saying go through this training and then that's it. Don't do anything else. There's a teaching in our training that says, teach choice, never take it away. Teach choice, never take it away. So we're going to give you more tools and resources. And that's part of it. So I'm going to go with this last one with Christine. She wrote about connection. I don't really know what that means. This is the last one. I start to go in my mind and try to figure out that on every level, and I get confused.
So I can add in a little bit. So Chris, I just want to acknowledge that Chris Paul also added in about her life purpose with that when you have that $1 billion or $10 billion check, and also Aaron Gamashay did as well. So just kind of in between when we were done sharing with those, and you were sort of moving on from that.
Yep.
Really great.
Yep, I'm going to finish with this because the time is going to go. So I'm going to go back to what I was sharing, which is I wrote about connection. I don't really know what that means. It started to go in my mind. Basically, it's just what Chris says is clarity seems to be where I struggle with the most. And I would disagree with Christine. And she would say, wait, that's my question. I would say, no, it's not clarity. It's independence. That's what you struggle with the most is you and I'm just reading this energetically and also knowing what I know. You come forward and then you take a step backwards and you don't go all in. You don't fully go all in with yourself. And as direct as this is, you do not go all fully in with yourself. You do not fully commit to it, and you're not fully using your resource or your higher consciousness. Now, I'm not saying this for a judgment. I'm saying this is just 100%. And during the training, what we do systematically, these things come up. When we say this is like a light school for light beings, this is a modern esoteric mystery or school, right? It's a modern esoteric mystery school. I want to say ancient, but it's not ancient, it's modern. This is a really magical school. And I'm not saying that just to hype it up. I'm not saying for this, it is what it is. Talk to anyone that goes through our school, our training. But it's not all sunshine, rainbows, and butterflies. When I say everything, this is true. If you guys want to become a millionaire, you're not a millionaire, literally everything in between, every thought, every program, every habit, every belief, I can go on and on, every action, every doubt, every emotion needs to come up to be released. You literally need those pieces to be plucked out, removed, or to be converted for fuel. So that's one of the biggest things is people dabble. Maybe they'll read a book. And we are going to be writing books with this. But even when people, and I'm going to even say this probably page 1 of the book, this book is not going to be enough. This book is a resource, a tool, a guide. Not one thing is enough. I'll even go one step further. God is not enough. And here's what I mean by that. God is not enough. What you think God isn't going to be enough. You need other people. But then you go to higher level conscious, well, God is everything, including the other people. Yep, then all that is more than enough. But if people have a source where they think about God, a lot of times we talk in a training about mental God, which means out of infinite possible things, if this is true for you, when I say God is not enough, this is the strategy I mean. If this is for you, when I say, what is God for you? And you say it's this infinite source. And if automatically, if it's disconnected, if it's separate from you, if it's outside of you, if it's outside the room, it's not going to work for you, because it's called mental God. It's not actually really God, it's mental God. We'll talk about it in further trainings, because mental God doesn't produce real results. Experiential God does, which is personal. It's not a concept. So that's where that doesn't work. But even when somebody comes inside and says, I want to ask, let's say they get to that point through our training or some other way where they bring God inside, not mental God, but actually experiential God, which is really what God is, when you feel it, not when you believe it or think it. And they start to actually have results, but then that's still not enough, because it's like, it also is the bed that you lay on, the food that you ate, which is also God, or all that is, or higher conscious, however you want to explain it. So big picture is, in summary, you won't be able to do it by yourself if, who are you hanging out with? And this is for all of you to realize, who are you surrounding yourself with? You are what you eat, but more importantly, you are who and what you surround yourself with. What books are you reading? Are you reading romance novels with Fabio or whoever is on the romance thing? Are you reading these things, right, without applying them in your life? Are you hanging around with other people that are really doing it? Are you breaking through what it takes? Are you stepping up? Like, it's an ownership to make your find your life's purpose is one thing, but to bring it out into the world is another thing. People are going to not like it. People are going to judge it. People are going to do this. And if you shut down, if you have not yet connected your fear of being left out, of being separate, of fear of not being liked, then if you are concerned with other people liking you and I don't want to do this because whatever, you will never fulfill your life's purpose. There's nothing wrong with this. It's just that, guess what? Then someone like myself says, come to our training. We clear all these things out. Well, as much as possible, I should say, in the time that we have training, we clear so much rapid acceleration growth and anything else that you can do, I guaranteed in this training. During these 16 days, or other times we do it stateside, we do it in the weekend modules, but you have the advantage in England to do it all at once. So during these 16 days, we're going to be clearing these things out as much as possible, maximum growth that's standing in the way of fulfilling your life's purpose, of discovering what it is, of really becoming free on every level. So thank you very much for your time. We will have more meetings, of course, and awesome. It resonates with Christine. Awesome. And we're going to invest more time with you, and we're going to do more training. So reach out to us directly. You can do info@introawareness.com. And let us know what you want. We already have ideas, but let us know what you want to make the next video on. But we're going to be meeting in November. I believe it's November 3rd. Amanda's going to double check the dates. But I believe it's November 3rd.
Yeah, for our next full training, it's going to be November 3rd through the 18th in London. There's this beautiful location we have for our residents who are of the area. They can meet us for the training. For those of us who are flying over, there's already a handful of us who are going over together from the Midwest. There are a lot of hotels and Airbnbs and really cool ways to connect as a community while we're there. And that's November 3rd through the 18th. And that will be a full practitioner training where instead of 5 months of monthly weekend breakouts, it's going to be all together as an intensive that is going to be absolutely valuable and really a lot of transformation.
So thank you for your time. We're going to see you on the next online Zoom call, and feel free to check out our YouTube channel too, because we keep uploading a lot of these value systems. We want to add as much value for you guys as possible. So thank you for investing time with us today, like we're investing within you, and sending you guys a lot of love and light.